The key to a good lap time in F1 2020 lies in your braking performance. The later you can brake and still make a corner, the faster you will go. If you're locking up and don't know how to stop, I can help. Let's get started. Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well today. My name is PJ and today we'll be learning how to drive without ABS in F1 2020. We'll learn how the system works, the techniques you need to know when turning it off, and also look at a few settings you could tweak along the way. If you ever have questions about F1 2020 or any other racing game, or you just want to hang out, I stream on Twitch every Friday. The link is in the description. Also, if this video helps you out and you want to see more, comment below with what you want to learn next and subscribe for future guides, but for now, let's get going. The anti-lock braking system, or ABS for short, is an assist designed to help you with your braking performance. Much like in a real road car, its main purpose is to stop you from locking the tyres when you brake. When you lock the tyres, you can no longer slow down or turn the car. Not good. ABS works by detecting the exact moment a wheel locks up and decreases your braking force until the wheels start moving again. This happens so quickly and so often that you may not notice it when driving, and the end result is that you can brake as hard as you like, slow down, and still make a corner. So why would you want to turn it off then? For a start, ABS is banned in real-world Formula 1, so for those wanting a true-to-life experience, it's something to consider. Second, and more importantly, it is possible to get even better braking performance with ABS switched off than with it enabled. Allow me to explain. As mentioned previously, ABS functions by adjusting braking force when a wheel locks up. These micro-locks make very little difference on their own, but when they happen up to 15 times per second, the end result is that it takes longer to slow down with ABS than it does without. ABS is primarily a system designed for safety, not for performance, so to truly get better at braking, you will need to learn how to drive without it in F1 2020. Before that, however, we need to talk about tyres. The 4 tyres on a Formula 1 car are the only part of the car that contacts the road at all times, and the grip they provide is the largest factor in your performance. Each tyre has a certain amount of grip to offer, and when you go above that limit, the wheel starts to slide, something you want to avoid. As you drive, various forces are placed upon the wheels, demanding grip. This is a very complex topic beyond the scope of this video, so to make things easier, I'll explain them with a hypothetical example. Let's say a tyre has 100 points of grip on offer. Any more than that demanded from it and it'll slide. When you're going straight, all of those points can be spent on forward motion, propelling you forward or slowing you down. When you turn, you now need to spend some points on lateral grip. Spend too much in either direction and you lock up while braking. To put it simply, the more you turn the wheel, the less you should brake. Likewise, if your main goal is to slow the car down, you should brake in a straight line, and then ease off the brakes when you turn. Trail braking is a technique that applies this concept to its full potential. Now that we know how tyres work, let's put that knowledge into practice. Trail braking is a technique common in motorsport, where a driver combines braking and turning to get the maximum amount of grip at all times. As you approach the corner, brake as hard as you can. You're travelling at high speed and the tyres are being pressed into the ground, giving you plenty of grip to use. This grip decreases as you begin to slow down, however, so begin to lift off the brake slightly. Now it's time to turn. Gently guide the car in the direction of the corner, and as you do, ease off the brake a little more. Eventually, you won't be braking at all, only turning. Trail braking allows you to keep the maximum speed possible through the braking phase of a corner, while also using all of the grip that's available. It's a tricky thing to master, but once you get it right, you'll see a big jump in performance. It's not the only technique available, however, so let's look at another. Cadence braking, or pump braking as it's sometimes referred to, goes in a different direction to trail braking, but can still be effective in certain scenarios. Your initial braking is the same. Brake as hard as you can to start. After this, instead of gradually lifting off the brake, you lift off quite a bit and begin to turn. Then, you gradually increase the braking force again until you feel the limit of grip. This pressing and releasing of the brake is similar to how ABS works. However, you're doing it manually instead of relying on the system to guess the right amount for you. Most players will find trail braking easier to learn, however it's worth trying out cadence braking to see if it's a better fit for you. Personally, I mainly use trail braking, but in ultra low grip situations like heavy rain, I'll try cadence braking to prevent locking up. Every corner in F1 2020 is different, and while most are flat, you will sometimes be braking uphill or downhill. This also has an effect on your braking, which is worth considering. In an uphill turn, you not only have the forces of a Formula 1 car pressing the tyres into the ground, you also have gravity on your side. This gives you more grip, allowing you to brake harder. It allows you to brake later as well past the 100 meter board for the steeper turns. In a downhill turn, the opposite is happening, in that you have less grip available to you than before. Not only that, as you're going downhill you may be entering a corner faster than you think, so on top of slightly less aggressive braking, you'll need to brake slightly earlier. For most corners in F1 2020, braking at the 100 meter board is a good starting point. Once you're confident in braking at 100, try edging further and further past it on future laps until you find the best spot. Technique is only one part of the braking puzzle, and although it's the most important part, there are other things we can do to optimize our braking performance. First up is the brake bias setting, which you can change on the fly during a race. This distributes braking force between the front and rear wheels of the car. If you send more to the front, you'll have greater stopping power, but also an increased risk of locking the front wheels. Given you're using these wheels to turn the car, this can be risky. If you send more to the rear, you lower the chance of locking up the front wheels. However, your braking distances may also increase. Send it too far back and you lock the rear wheels, essentially pulling the handbrake on a Formula 1 car. If you're finding yourself locking slightly into corners, try pulling the brake bias a little rearward to ease the load. Expert players will change this for specific corners on a track, multiple times per lap, but when you're starting out, don't worry so much. Next, we can tweak our car setup to ease the load on the brakes. By lowering the overall brake pressure, we can reduce the chance of lockups, but at the cost of lower braking ability overall. If you're racing in the wet, however, this may be a very useful thing to try out, as you're driving at slower speeds anyway. Also, in our control settings we can adjust our brake linearity. If you set this above 0, you can more easily apply lower amounts of brake pressure. I am still exploring the limits of braking myself, but for now I have this set to 50 and it feels almost right, so try that out if you're struggling. If this video helped you out and you want to see more, comment below with what you would like me to cover next, and subscribe to get new guides as they release. Also, for some extra tips you can watch right now, check out the video on the screen to get started. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and good luck on track.